The Institute of Heart Math said this: there is also new data suggesting that the heart's field is directly involved in intuitive perception beyond mind through its coupling to an energetic information outside the bounds of space and time. Yes, outside the walls of the illusion. Thus, they want heart-closed people so that we do not breach the walls of the illusion and stay within it. That is why they have structured society as they have, and in section 2 I'll explain all that in detail. So, the idea is to hold us here and keep us detached of an awareness and an influence from that.
Corporations are people, my friend. GreenZilla, hopping fences like a Palestinian. Predator drones will your family to oblivion. Dimensional doorways, my rap style comes through this. Trapped in the knowledge and the hologram of Judas. Outcast and vicious, terror plot to witness. False flag attacks, leave him sleeping with the fishes. And Birdie Murdoch, coming with the sod off. No longer in interest when that money supply's cut off. And it seems that my composition is a holographic apparition that came from superstition. And I don't know my religion, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's all science fiction. And if I was immune to you, you'd see through me and see through the aberration of what I knew. But nothing is sacred, and in the city of vaulted secrets, you'll never make it.
Life's an illusion,
a digital transmission of waveforms suspended in remission. The mind is a computer of dedication. The only way out is devastation.
life's an illusion,
Corporations are people, my friend.
life's an illusion.
Say actions act more than words, but right now my words wanna murder. Like in the back of a psycho's head, he thinks he wants to hurt her. From the amount of ink I put to paper, I think it deserves a burger. But my hunger is escalating to the point where the pain's like the heart of a raver, bubbling like a fucking raid. Don't make me start a right, cause that means you're the one who helped me ignite it. So for you to know, I think it, I write it, I flow it, and you know I'm rowing this boat at 40 knots. You think you can catch up? I think not, because stereo speakers and headphones making you don't feel like it's right at home, free to roam. My flowing style's what I invented. Don't ask cause it will never be rented. If I have to, I will fence it. Grab my gun with my left hand, aim it at your face as my gun goes bland. The tricky illusion is pollution. They have hidden what they're doing as I revealed what I'm
Life's
pursuing.
an illusion,
A digital transmission of waveforms suspended in remission. The mind is a computer of dedication. The only way out is devastation.
life's an illusion,
Corporations are people, my friend.
life's an illusion.
Time is an illusion, and it's used to control us so powerfully. The body is a biological computer, and it allows us to experience this reality, but if that becomes the sense of who we are, we shut out that, and then big time we are open to control. We talk about a computer when it won't work and won't switch on. We say, my computer's dead. Well, when we die, we don't die. The computer ceases to function, and the true self goes on living its infinity. There is no death. And what do you do when your computer, oh, my computer's broken down, it won't work. What are you going to do? I'm going to get another computer. Reincarnation. So, Then you have computers going into sleep mode. Well, so do we. Well, we tick over on very, very little energy, except me last night. I never slept a bloody wink. And then you have the antivirus systems in computers, which are seeking out threats to the operating system to give them a smack and stuff them out. We have a fantastically advanced one called the human immune system. And what happens when a new virus in the computer world comes and your antivirus technology is not used to it, it can get through and destroy the operating system. What happens when people like Europeans took smallpox to North America and the Native Americans, they went down like 9 pins because their antivirus, their immune system was not used to that. Same thing, just more advanced. The DNA is the human body computer's central processing unit, CPU, or rather hard drive. The brain is the CPU. It's the hard drive that holds the genetic blueprint. And therefore, when you have people, and there are some doctors that have studied this, I know one in particular has done a lot of research on it, they found that when people have had heart transplants, particularly heart transplants, funnily enough, but transplants of lungs and other organs, they have taken on not just the characteristics, personality-wise, of the donor, but also aptitudes and gifts, like suddenly they can paint well and they didn't before. And people are going, why? This is a mystery. No, it's not a mystery. What is downloaded from the donor to the receiver is information, which is now available to the receiving operating system and can influence the aptitudes, thoughts, and actions of that system. And this is the CPU, the brain, the central processing unit, which processes information, but the whole genetic system is processing information, and this, in its true power, is the biggest processor of information. And this is an enhanced picture taken at the Necker Hospital in Paris, where they put tracer dye into acupuncture points in, the acupuncture healing system. And I looked at that and I thought, that's a motherboard. And it's interesting because what's passing through these meridian lines is what the Chinese call qi. It goes back thousands of years. And what they found is when the qi energy passing through these lines is not moving at optimum speed, it's too fast or it's too slow, then there is manifest in that body a mental or emotional or physical dis-ease, disharmony. And of course, what happens when a virus hits a computer? What's the first thing we see? Hey, my computer's ever so slow today. Yes, because the information is not passing round to optimum, so the computer is malfunctioning. The information's not passing round the body to optimum, the body computer is malfunctioning, which we call dis-ease. And what acupuncture is doing with the needles and various other techniques is balancing this flow of qi, information, to restore that harmony. So someone like Dogma, what do you think of that, Dogma? Oh, rubbish, rubbish! How can you put a needle in a toe to cure a headache? It's ridiculous. Okay, let me just take you through that, darling. These lines go around the body. They are circuits. And if the circuit affecting the head and causing the headache is blocked in the toe, Dogma, it's no bloody use putting a needle in the head, mate, is it? Is it, really? No. And that's the other thing. Computers and computer viruses, what are they? They are rogue information. They are rogue information that distorts the information balance and harmony of the computer operating system and thus distort the way it operates. When it happens in human beings, we call that illness and disease. Distorted information. That is what this is. That's what this is. They are distorting the operating system, the human body, so it will not read reality in its true potential sharpness and clarity. Therefore, here in the holographic world of the conscious mind, we see food additives, stuff in water like fluoride, and all the crap that goes in kids' sodas and sweets and candies, all that stuff. But if you take that down to its base state, these are all vibrational information fields of great distortion. And thus, they are distorting the information balance of the body, and that's how food additives and additives to water and all the other stuff cause mental, emotional, and physical dis-ease. And they're doing it on purpose. And they're doing it on purpose because they are freaking insane. Walk through fire in another state of awareness and you don't get burned. We are decoding the solidity. It's part of the process that we are going through to create this reality. Quantum physics has long shown this reality is not solid and can't be solid. They say it's made of atoms. Well, atoms have no solidity. As someone said, quite rightly, that if you take the nucleus of an atom to be the size of a 10-cent piece, then the atom would have to be about the size of a cathedral. And the rest would be empty space. Actually, it's not empty space. It's just a packet of bloody energy. And you know when you put a disk in a computer, as the decoding process goes on to put it on a screen, certain processes happen. This thing that they call atoms is just one of the processes to turn vibrational information through electrical into digital and holographic. We live in a holographic world, illusory physical. And this is very, very important because if you think the world is solid, what's solid another word for? Limitation. I can't. Once you realize it's fluid and you can play with it, once you start to awaken to it, then limitation starts to be diluted. They don't want people with diluted limitation. They want people with a perception of total limitation. So this is a studio where they make holograms. Basically, there's a laser. They break it into two sides. One goes onto a photographic print. One goes onto the print and bounces on, collides with that part of the laser, having taken on, in effect, vibrationally, the image that they want to holographically take a picture of. And so what happens on the photographic print is you have what they call in holographics, here we go, waveform, a waveform interference pattern. And it's basically like dropping two pebbles in a pond, and the waveforms go out from that, and as they collide, that is a waveform representation of where those pebbles dropped, how big they were, how fast they dropped. All those things are encoded in that waveform. If you could decode it, it would tell you that. And this is a holographic waveform on a holographic print. Looks like a fingerprint. I would suggest that's absolutely not an accident. Anyway, all you do then, because that is waveform information. It is another version of the waveform construct of the whole universe, which plays out into this by decoding it. And then when you decode this by firing a laser at it, amazing things happen. Apparently three-dimensional images appear. And they look as solid as you and me, but you can put your hand through them because they're illusions. There again is the print, fire a laser at it, bingo, there's a three-dimensional image. These are all holograms. Another hologram, another hologram. Oh, God, if only. But I'll talk about her after we've had a bit of lunch. Yes, I've lost my knighthood, you know. I've lost my knighthood. It was the Satanism at Balmoral that did it in the end. That was the clincher. Anyway, this is a guy on a stage in Melbourne. This is a guy on this stage in Adelaide, and he is a holographic projection. They're using more and more holograms in all these different ways. There's an Elvis hologram there. That's CNN playing with holograms. And thus, this physical world that seems so solid is actually a decoded reality through the digital to the holographic. I mean, you know, you can look at a computer game and the best of them look real solid when you're looking at the screen. It's just information being decoded. The world is holographic, of the conscious mind. In 2009, after I've been talking about this and writing about this for years, I came across this New Scientist magazine, centre of mainstream science in Britain magazine, from 2009, and the front cover was, "You are a hologram projected from the edge of the universe." Because some mainstream scientists even now are seeing that the cul-de-sacs exist for all the mainstream explanations for reality. They go nowhere. There has to be another explanation, and a number of them are now going into the holographic level. But it's not a hologram projected from the edge of the universe. It's not. It's a hologram being decoded from information that pervades the frickin' universe. That's what it is. And there's this other thing about this question that many scientists have, when they've seen that something can take a waveform and a particle form at the same time. How is that possible? Well, let's look at the hologram. When you have your holographic print, your information construct in waveform, and you decode it with the laser and it projects the three-dimensional illusory physical image, then you have the physical and you have the waveform at the same time. Not only that, they have to exist at the same time, because that is merely a projection from that. Take away that, you take away that. And the other great thing is, it explains so much, this one. The other great thing about holograms is that every part of a hologram is a smaller version of the whole. Thus, if you take a holographic print and you cut it into 4 and fire the laser at each one, you do not get a quarter part of the picture, you get a quarter-size version of the whole picture. So every part of a hologram is a smaller version of the whole. Yes, the smaller you go, the less clarity you get, but it's still a smaller version of the whole, and that's what this is. Reflexology and acupuncture and other alternative ways of healing can find places on the hands and the feet where they can treat organs and other parts of the body, because the feet, the ear, the hand are just smaller parts of the body hologram. Therefore, there is a connection between them fundamentally, and if you treat the smaller part of the hologram, you affect the whole hologram. This is why acupuncture can find, reflexology can find these points on the ear, for instance, which represent all different parts of the body. And palm reading and all that stuff is from this, because in that hand is information from the entire body. So we have as above, so below. We have the human energy field in the smaller part of the hologram, and we have the earth energy field in the greater part of the hologram. We have the hologram again expressed there in the brain cell and the universe. And as William Blake, in a greater part of that poem, to see a world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wild flower, hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in an hour. A pinhead and infinity are the same thing. This is just one point, literally, within the greater ocean. And this is what we are, a point of attention within the greater ocean. And again, scientists have said, how can particles communicate when they're billions of miles apart and communicate instantly? Answer, they are not billions of miles apart. They are expressions of the one infinite whole, and thus, when they move as the one infinite whole, their communication must be instant, because there is actually no space between them. And then, dogmas. Dogma's got a fret on now. Astrology. Astrology! Freaks! Rubbish! Well, let's have a look what astrology is. We see planets and stuff like that moving around. But if we go back to the waveform construct from which everything comes, this is just the holographic decoded level of them, they are information fields. And as they move through the greater information field, they are impacting cosmic internet, posting, receiving, upon the greater field. We interact with that greater field. So as the planets move, the information fields move, and affect the greater field, they are influencing us. And if we are locked into a certain point in this cycle, then we take on a different expression of that universal field when we connect with it, what we call birth. Some people say, when we are first created, and before the birth process happens. But therefore, we take on a different field part of the universal field. So as we go through life, we are going to be influenced and be affected by the great changes in the greater field as the planets move around and go into their conjunctions and stuff, than someone who comes in at a different point and therefore takes on a different expression of that field. It's all energy interacting with each other, information interacting with each other. And when you take the holographic nature of reality, never mind the greater consciousness, even at the level of the body, we are a smaller version of the universe. Because the universe is holographic, therefore we are a smaller version of the universe. We've come a bloody long way from Charlie Smith driving his bus and Ethel Jones at the store that they want us to believe we are. Then there's the digital level. This is another level which can explain a lot of things. Then now, this is getting closer and closer to our reality now, our experienced reality. They're now creating digital holograms. This is a mainstream media report about them, and it says, and they look real, so real that when Ford used a digital hologram to show off a car concept model, people stopped, afraid to walk into it. They thought the holographic car was really there. That car is a hologram. It's not solid, but just appears so. This digital hologram has taken it even further.
Holograms inside your mind. It's just a construct, all you seek and all you find. Decoded energy, a symbol of divine. You are the source and in your actions you define. Don't waste your life on immaterial schemes. Defend your right to follow your destiny. Holograms inside your mind. A fractal construct, all you seek and all you find. Decoded energy, a symbol of divine. You are the source and in your actions you define. Don't waste your life by losing sight of your dreams. Defend your right to follow your destiny. Follow your destiny. Follow your destiny.
I mean, what is destiny anyway? It's just a destination of the past we choose to follow. I mean, who am I anyway? I know they told me I was. I mean, it's just labels. We want to, labels. They say, I'm different to that man over there. I've got to distrust him. Well, that ain't me. It just ain't me.
Well, it's like this, mate. I can talk about the Illuminati. I can talk about the reptilians, the Masons, the Knights Templars, the Priory Sign, even the bloody Simpsons. I can talk about the Mayan calendar, the end of the world, that we all create reality together. What reality do you want? What reality do you believe in? What reality do you stand for as a sentient being? It's what we do when we're alive that counts. Don't waste your life
Hologram.